Hey everybody, how's everyone doing? It is I, Sly, and today we are doing another Foundry reviews, this time on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Today I have Ken and John joining me. How you boys doing today?
Doing great.
Yeah, boy. I'm really excited. We're actually recording a review for an episode that came out actually like a couple days ago, so we're kind of on time. I'm really happy about this. But
We're ahead of the game, dude. We're,
Yeah.
we're getting good at these review things.
yeah, it's been a
Damn
couple.
right.
Yeah, ever since like Mandalorian season 1, it's been the trio of the tree view we got here
It's-
with the three of
Dude,
us.
all
yeah,
right. Come up with new
Yeah.
names.
It's
Oh, I like it.
reviews. I like that.
Yeah. So, man, I reacted with you, Sly, to the trailer for this a while ago, and
Yeah.
we didn't have a lot of pleasant things to say, and I still don't have a lot
No.
of pleasant things to say. I was
Yeah,
not too.
not much happened.
It's
I
a
was-
setup episode. It's a setup episode, I feel like.
Where-
It's
Couldn't you
it's
say?
getting you
And this
started.
show is going to be shorter than WandaVision.
What
Keep
about
that in mind.
what about the last like 4 movies? Those were pretty setup shows for those characters too, right? Like, I don't know
Damn, you
about
got us
that.
there.
I think the start of this episode was hands down the best one. He starts with ironing the shirt. There's an Iron Man. He's alive. He's
Oh my
coming back.
God.
Let's
Ken's-
go.
We're going
Confirmed.
hard into the analysis of this episode. Iron Man confirmed. You heard it, Ken.
Some serious foreshadowing right there. You cannot
we go.
deny.
Man, that's the biggest reveal.
I
And,
saw a
you know-
shield at one point. I mean, hey, you
Oh.
know what that means.
Agents.
Dude, you bet. Agents of Shield.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it's my favorite show.
Which is apparently it's not canon anymore, which I heard from somebody. I don't know if that's true.
I think it's because of the not to get into it too much, but WandaVision things happen, and it
Yeah.
basically says that now Agents of Shield, because there's some things that connect them, but because of how they did it with WandaVision, now they're Agents of Shield is no longer canon. But I think we've known that for a while, so
Great. This episode came out. What was the episode called? A New World Order.
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
World Order, yeah.
So I don't know. I was good the entire time. I was waiting for something to happen. I was like, I wasn't bored at any point. It was really cool seeing Bucky and going through some PTSD and stuff. I was like, love that for a soldier, who's been fighting, like you said, for like 100 years straight, I don't have a lot of good things to say about it. Like the writing was kind of bad, and a lot of the action scenes were like really well done and everything, but there were like a bunch of like plot holes and inconsistencies that really were bugging the fuck out of me. So
I got you. Well, let's start with like the action scene. We only have one action scene, right? It's the very beginning of the show. After he's done ironing.
hey,
the
what
Iron
about
Man,
what about that PTSD dream that Bucky
Yeah.
had?
True. That's fair. That was I guess that's enough. But I think the major one was like the one where they start. And like it's very interesting because I was like, of all the scenes, they're like, let's put him in a plane where he's like, I mean, it makes sense. He's a falcon. He's gonna fly.
Mhm.
But they
Birds,
just
we
put
gotta
you-
be birds.
they put you right into the exposition of like, all right, we got these guys that you don't know, but it's an acronym for a group that we haven't told you about yet, but they're bad, and you got to go. And it was very unclear what he was doing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I watched it twice. I watched it once, and then I watched it with Zoe because she hadn't seen it. I was like, okay, I'll watch it again, and I still kind of was a little confused about what they were actually doing. But essentially, he's trying to save this guy that they've captured, but I still don't know why.
Yeah, who captured him? What is he like? Is he work for the
Does he
Sam?
have like intel or I don't know?
Sam work for the military? Like, I guess we really don't need to know that stuff, but like they started explaining it as if we did need to know it.
And it's important somehow. It'll probably connect, but like I was just very confused as to like why this was important, and we had to do it before I assume they didn't. So I guess for context, he's trying to save this guy. They got him. They're trying to fly into different airspace where they have no jurisdiction, I guess.
Yeah.
So like they have to get him before he gets in that aerospace, and he essentially is trying to hijack this other plane, and then he does. He's like, all right, it looks like they took out the guy. Let me hop in. Get my little what's his name?
Wait a minute. How did that even happen? How did that even happen? Like he says, all right, Falcon, make sure to watch out for these people. They may show up and try to interfere. What? Like, how did they get in there? They didn't like bang the airplane, did they? Like, what?
Yeah, so they had to have been on the plane from the get-go.
That's on them. That's
Agreed.
yeah, that's on them. Let them lie in their fucking bed, and after that, that's ridiculous. How do you gonna? That's so dumb. We're like high value target. It's like we saw like one dead pilot, and whatever. Okay, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter that much. We're like thoroughly into it. The fight scene.
We're overanalyzing this.
Yeah, the Falcon. He's like, oh, I can't let the pilot see me. You know, he's like hanging on the plane for some reason. I don't know. Man.
Yeah, that was weird. I guess he was trying to investigate, but he's got like, technology to literally see into the plane. Why did he need to like
for
physically
real.
look?
That's so weird. Like he pulls up little thing. He's looking through the walls and everything of the plane. All this, everything's solid. To look at the heat signatures, I guess, and just to see like, and he's peeking through the window to get spotted, which does nothing.
Yep.
And there's George.
I guess it was funny because the pilot's like, "Did you see that?" It's like, dude, you're going crazy.
They're
I'm
trying
gonna kill
to
you.
shoehorn that fucking old Marvel humor that doesn't always work into there.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he does that, and then he hijacks. He gets Red Wing to, he's now got Stark level tech on his
Yeah.
his little wingsuit.
I was kind of wondering, do you
to
think
open
like
that up.
you're like, like voice activated stuff like your Connect or Siri or something, you're like things that like they mess up, or like Cortana, like, hey Cortana, play the song, do you ever think like it messes up, or like, sorry, I couldn't hear you, but like in a life threatening situation, like he says something so simple like, hey Red Wing, take down those guys, and it says, I'm sorry, I couldn't understand that. It just start fucking shooting on all the soldiers on the on the on the ground level that were quote supporting him or something. Do you ever think like they have those possible issues?
It's really funny you mentioned that because I thought about that.
That's what I was thinking
Because at one
about.
point the helicopters chase after him, and he's like, Red Wing, get these guys off our ass. And he just goes, and like, how do you know what he means by get these guys off our ass? That's
I know,
such
like
an ambiguous
you have to
command.
have so many shortcuts, to be like.
You got to program them in, yeah. So he like hears the order. He's like, okay, got
Tobey Maguire trying to get his fucking like web shit slingers to work or something like that.
Oh god.
That's what it's like.
Shit. We're just pulling apart this action
Yeah,
sequence.
George St.
But,
Pierre was in it. He was like, hey, we're French. And the only reason they're French is because he's French. And that was the only reason why.
That
Had to
was
be
pretty
after that.
lazy. Yeah, I wish they like were like something else, and then he's the only French one. But they're like, no, we're all French.
And then, yeah, Falcon jumps in the plane to stop them. And he's like using hand-to-hand combat and stuff. And
It
people
was cool though. Some of the moves he did was pretty. Like he used his suit to his advantage to like punch a guy. Like he burst himself like forward into a guy instead of like actually punching.
Right.
He just uses the suit to push himself forward and punch him or something like that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was a little foolish though when he opened his wings when he was trying to fight Batroc.
Yeah, it was very weird. Like at one
'Cause-
point, he also pulled it out to have the shield, and then he just kind of like stayed there, like, and then like
Yeah.
he just stopped. Like he didn't try to. I don't know. It was a very weird like. It was very inconsistent. It was a cool like first viewing. If you don't really give a shit, that's cool. But like they could have done so much better. Like not a lot of thought went into that.
I have a question though.
What's your
So
question?
he does all that stuff combat. He kind of overpowers a little bit. They come back and then they jump out with their wingsuits with that guy that they're trying to pull, like they're trying to keep with them along. But it looks like from the view, like the things you get. I mean, well, first of all the effects are fantastic. I do have to give them props for that.
Oh, yeah.
It looks really real.
Yeah, you're
real.
right.
It has weight and it actually feels real. So points for that. But when he jumps out, like it looks like the guy that they're trying to have hostage is literally just hanging onto the suit himself. Why couldn't he just jump off and let freaking the Falcon catch him midair or something because he can fly? So I wasn't sure if he was like tied to the suit or something, but it didn't seem like he had time to do that. And like
It was actually
guess.
really weird. They're like, he's like, hey guys, sandwich this boy. They're like, we're gonna sandwich you, and that's how that's gonna work. And like, so I'm thinking, so with that wingsuit, that you probably have to like shift your weight through that, right? Like that's how you would fly.
Oh
there.
no, they carabinered him on.
So like he was attached to it, right?
Yeah,
So like, wouldn't that like affect like how you're flying through the air and stuff like that?
it would.
yeah,
How
it
do you-
seems like you could
Too
have
much
just like
drag.
thrown him off and made him like
Really?
like,
He just
topple
like
over or
sinks
something?
down to the fucking ground and dies like immediately. It's like fuck. Like all right, guys, we trained 80 hours for this mission. It's like yeah, but we didn't train with another human being attached to us, dude. That's fucking crazy. George St. Pierre, you put him on you. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. So
What-
I thought that was kind of weird with the wingsuit.
They're flying really low to the ground too.
They were
Yeah.
like, super low. And like you're gonna try to like you're up against the Falcon and you're gonna put on a wingsuit. how do you think you're gonna outmaneuver him? He's literally got like engines and like way better wings than you.
Yeah, dude, it was impressive. You saw them scales. They're like dipping and they're like going through tiny little holes and stuff like that. They were using some sick
They
ass
had
maneuvers.
crazy airtime too. Like I don't like you just fall with one of those. You don't really get any like upward momentum again. Like you just kind of glide down. I don't know how they stayed in the air as long as they did.
Very instant. I don't know, gravity change. You know, with all the billions of people that disappeared and came back. I don't know how to explain that. It's crazy. Yeah, it was cool. I like, yeah, that was all right. And I was like, all right, cool. And then there was a weird follow-up scene of like him with that Torres guy, like the guy that was on the ground that was like talking to him on the radio, who randomly hijacked a Jeep. And he's like, I'm coming, man. We need to pull back. And he's like celebrating and stuff. I'm like, dude, like, stop trying to put this character on my screen. I don't give a fuck. Like, don't give the sidekick character a sidekick, please.
I got bad news for you. Sidekick character is gonna play a bigger role.
Probably.
I don't have a problem with him, I guess. Like, personally, it's just like, he's not important to me at all. Then randomly, as if he's some kind of agent, he's like, hey, keep an eye on this red handprint we see in like fucking in this desert town. He's like, all right, cool. And he's like, I'll research it. And he's like, and he's in another town looking at handprints. I was like, what the fuck's going on with this dude? Did he just desert? Like, did he just leave the U.S. military and just like go to fucking Europe? Like,
yeah, because I think he was in Switzerland, right? Because he was like a Swiss bank at one point, and I'm like, how do you? But
just straight up deserted.
I mean, that part where you're talking about where they just kind of interact, we were talking about it earlier. That part kind of like took me out of it a little bit because like, you know, Falcon's just working on his suit a little bit because obviously it got blasted during the
it got shot
firefight a little
by
bit,
a
and he
pistol.
somehow fixed it. He fixed it in midair. I don't know how he managed that.
Maybe they were like, hey, didn't Falcon get shot? Oh shit, yeah, we totally filmed that. What do you want to do about it? I don't know. They won't remember it. 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, it was rerouted or whatever. You know, that explains it. He has nanotech now. It's fine. But like he's trying to like, you know, fix his suit because it got blasted, and he's like, you know, working on it a little bit. And I mean, the fact that he's working on it was like, I didn't know he was like tech savvy, because that's some crazy level tech. And then that guy rambles something about like IP addresses and shit and Stark level tech, and I'm like, what do you know about it? Like you seem way too young to know about this. You're not like some. I mean, maybe he is. Maybe he's a genius, but like it just they just shove like random tech words at you, and I'm like, that's not how any of this works. It didn't sound correct to me, and it was just weird because he also then Falcon later speaks, you know,
Arabic,
the languages escape Arabic, yes, yeah. I think. So I was like, he also knows Arabic. He's also multilingual. Like, all right, Falcon is apparently way better than I thought. Yeah, so that's true.
Probably picked up some language, yeah.
But he seemed pretty fluent. I guess we don't know enough about some of his backstory.
Ken, that's fucking funny.
You know, it's like that's a lot of time.
I like that. That was good.
You know,
yeah,
Falcon is a little fishy, or just fucking say he's 90 years old. He was also frozen, okay? God damn. All right, what about
was that fishy part a pun on what happens later?
I don't even remember.
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah, you're right. God, that was a little crabby. All right. So yeah, for some reason he's got a shrimp. Oh yeah, so Falcon gives up his shield that Captain America gave him, and he put it in some kind of museum thing or some like memorial place.
I think it was Smithsonian, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's where they got the rest of Captain's stuff.
Yeah, I don't. For some reason that I really don't like a lot is like how. Like when they kind of break that fourth wall, I'm like, oh, here, look, all these 1940s and 50 comics of like Captain America, you know, from when he like was in World War II. It kind of breaks a weird fourth wall, and I'm not super into it. You know, when they have their own like merchandising, and they're like, oh, can I take a selfie with you, Falcon? Like it I don't know. Like I'm not saying it's bad, but personally, I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
I see it as like that propaganda for the time. But yeah, I know what you mean. Right. Yeah, they're definitely using stuff from the real
which I kind of liked it with like with Tony Stark. Like I like that, you know, like people would be a fan of him, but like they had a really good point later because like at some point, you remember when the Falcon was in the bank, he's like what did you do for money? It's like, how did you live? Like that's such a good fucking point. I'm like, obviously you get contracts from the government and stuff. Like what do you rely on to just like, I don't know, like save a business, and they just send you like a fucking like a fruit basket or something? Like sweet, I got a couple days of food. Like,
Which reminds me of the avocados at law.
yeah, like for real. Like you gotta have a day job. That's the cool thing about like a lot of superheroes. Like they got day jobs, you know, and they gotta hide their stuff. Like Superman's income is based off what, being a journalist and writing nerd papers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Batman's got money just for reasons and stocks and dividends and yeah, love that stuff for him. Yeah, but like, what is Falcon's day job? Fucking shrimping? Is that what he's gonna start doing? Shrimping? Like, like at least show it. But I like how they brought that up. He's like, what have you been doing for the last 5 years, dude? Like, you like.
Oh yeah, and then that brought up the whole other debate about the blip. Remember? They're like, how can you have income if for 5 years I didn't exist?
I feel
I
like
do see the pitfalls of that, but damn.
I do feel like the game, the story should be a lot smart enough to where they had bills in act. I mean, like, I feel like they would have had stimulus checks and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of compensation would have been like would have happened as well. I'm pretty
That
sure the
makes
government
sense,
would have
but
done
I
something.
think the government became so broken up, and they were still recovering, so they probably didn't have time to like enact anything like that.
Plus, like, they fixed things, and then the Avengers put everything back, and that caused a new problem.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was probably a lot of it could be like still, oh, we're still in ruins and stuff. Yeah, that's very true. To where things could they definitely need fixing, but the government is capable of doing that. So that's a really good point about that. They didn't really have a lot of stuff about Bucky except for he's a broken dude who the only time he's at peace is when he's in wartime, I guess, kind of thing like that.
And then the reference to Wakanda, I thought that was sad. I was like, damn, why can't we just send him back there so he can go back to enjoying his life?
I know, like, why can't he go back to Wakanda?
Could probably some
plot.
Could he hit up Shuri and be like, hey, can I just hang out in that hut and be a teacher there like I was before and just take off my arm and just chill with you guys?
I had hoped when she called him the White Wolf that he would actually have, a storyline through Wakanda.
That'd been pretty cool, but
yeah, there must be something they're gonna explain with why he had to come back. There must be they said it was all part of his pardon, and that's the stuff he's working through. And maybe there's some jurisdiction thing where he's here, so he can't just simply leave.
That's a good point
or something.
That's a good point.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that makes sense. I mean, he's got friends in higher places. I'm sure he could figure it out, but he's probably not trying to, ruffle any feathers.
Oh
right
shit!
Now.
Hey, isn't Baron Zemo supposed to be in the show?
Yes.
At some point,
cool.
yes.
I just remember that. Cool. All right, I'm looking forward to something. All right.
I think he'll play a big role with these flag smashers, because they thought life was better during the 5 years that half existence was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Man, shit.
Should be interesting to see how that comes up.
Yeah. Bucky went on an awkward date with this girl who wanted to play Battleship. I was
She's
like,
going to be in more of the
choice.
episodes, by the way. She's confirmed to be, a main character.
A main character, not
well,
just
she'll pop up more. She
if
was
you
a one-off.
Go to Falcon Trivia, you can see that she is every time she's viewed on screen, she is playing Battleship or wiping down a glass at a bar.
I thought it was. I don't know if she or the other people he was hanging out there realized his history, but it was just kind of funny that she chose of all games Battleship. He's a war veteran and let's play Battleship. That's a great thing to make you comfortable.
She
and
pulls out
a
controller. She's like, "Want to play COD?" And he just has a fucking breakdown mid-match. He's like, "What the fuck?" Just starts pummeling the TV, breaks the Xbox Series X, and just terrible first date. That'd be terrible.
Imagine. It was kind of funny though that while she's going to clean up and go get the game or something, I think. The little cat statue is waving its thing back and forth, his hand.
That's
and
what
he's
I noticed.
He's got to stop it, and I'm like, that makes so much sense. I don't know much about PTSD, but I'm pretty sure one of the big things is you just want calm, and that kind of a thing might trigger you. Just that simple movement of the thing going back and forth is very unnerving. I could understand. So I thought that was a nice little.
Yeah, the cat thing was it was a big thing for me. I really enjoyed that part too. I thought that was smart. See, this show can be smart when it wants to, and it wasn't even that that blunt about it. That was a really subtle thing that they added as well. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I think the show was smarter about handling things regarding Bucky than it was with Sam. this first episode.
I think that's really fair. Yeah, everything with like Sam was like really blunt and stuff and really loud, and everything with Bucky was like more calm and subtle, and I feel like more thought out. Maybe like, do you think they got like different writers for each like storyline, like separately?
It
I
could
can't
be.
imagine. That would be interesting though.
I mean, like,
And then like somewhere they meet in the common ground and like, all right, we'll agree on this, but like we'll have their paths diverge here.
that'd be that's the way I would go about it, you know, just because you don't want it to be feel like it's the same thing. Anyway, yeah,
Right.
it was looking back at it. Yeah, I enjoyed it a little bit more, and like critiquing stuff was like really fun. But like, hey, it's gonna be a fun show, you know.
I think so. I think it's gonna be a good one.
Compared, recently I watched WandaVision. We'll review that in a little bit. In a couple days, you guys will get that first review up for you. But I enjoyed the first episode of WandaVision way more than this one. But that's they're very completely two different shows, I think,
Very
like,
different,
genre wise.
Yeah, they're handling completely different topics. Like WandaVision's more like her handling recent events with like
Grieving.
Vision and stuff and
Yep.
grief.
Yeah.
And
Plus
this
the
one's
time
more
period, you know, in terms of how recently after Endgame each of these shows are.
true. Yeah, they're set slightly differently apart in time in terms of time. So yeah,
But you guys okay with that? You guys think that's a wrap?
yeah.
Oh wait. What?
Oh.
What? While everyone turns on the TV, you know, what's up on the big TV before we end it? It's a really big thing. Is that you know, it was a big press conference, and they started to
Oh.
recite the speech
Yeah.
that Falcon gave, said like, "Hey, you need a symbol for blah blah blah," and then there's like the new Captain America, and then walking down like some stairs, it's Captain America with the shield that he gave away to the Smithsonian.
Yeah, and a slightly different uniform, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means anything, but that was a big like, wow, you guys are assholes. I literally just gave you that shield to put away because I didn't want to pass on the mantle or take it on.
Yeah.
But you're like, nah, we were gonna take that, you know, and just do something completely different.
You know what I thought was weird? Sam's sister was crying.
Yeah, she seemed very upset about it.
I did not know why. It seemed so personal to her, and I was like, well, she didn't know Steve Rogers, you know, personally.
Yeah,
and
from-
obviously her and Sam aren't that close, so what's up?
He's been gone for the last 5 years anyway. So yeah, that is
Yeah.
weird. I don't know. Maybe there will be some like flashback to like. I doubt it. He'll be on the show, but like maybe she'll be like, "Oh, he checked in on us every once in a while. Watch the kids when you were gone," or something like that during the blip, or something. I don't know.
We got any theories about who this person is wearing Captain's suit, by the way?
I have nope. At first, I was gonna be like, "Is that gonna be George St. Pierre?" It's just like French Captain America out of nowhere, and I was gonna be like, "No fucking way," because I was like, "That's the only like other like antagonist I can think of right now."
But I have a
Bedrock, the starter
feeling-
of the Bastille.
It's fucking Torres.
Yeah, imagine. I have a feeling it's going to be somehow connected to the Flag Smashers or whatever. Somehow, I don't know how, but I have a
I
feeling.
can see that.
Some
For me, I think the dude wearing the suit is the individual that Sam rescued in the beginning of the episode.
Oh, that could be
You
it.
think so?
Oh, hey, yeah,
I
that
think
actually
so.
could be it.
He looked relatively similar.
Just go look on IMDb if it were played by the same actor.
Yeah, true.
There you go.
Yeah, like-
easy win.
So we have that to look forward to next episode next week. We got to figure out who that character is and why is he Captain America all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
should be interesting.
I'm totally not trying to waste time to figure out who this person is. Oh yeah, we got to see War Machine for a second. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that was
nice
a
to
nice-
see him incorporated into it. It made sense,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
was-
to have him there.
Yeah. But I guess that will be it for the first review of the episode. I'd say I'd rate it as a 7.
7.
7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go with a 7 too. You know, I liked it. It was a nice introduction, but I'm excited. I'm more excited to see what comes of the next few episodes. This one was like, it was a good setup.
I agree.
I too am neutral, so I'm going with a 7. If it continues to like develop a little bit longer in the next episode, I'll be a little disappointed. I kind of want the ball to start rolling, but I think this is a good framework for the season.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to. Looking forward to see where it's going. They didn't reveal too much. As yeah, like you said, mostly a setup episode. But yeah, overall positive. I think. Besides of us nitpicking, it's just kind of fun to do that stuff. But hey, if you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to drop some support. Let us know what you guys think of the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and make sure to subscribe to Foundry for some more Marvel stuff in the future. But until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
Peace out.
Bye.